Hi scientists! Last week you learned about different types of germs and how those germs can make us sick. We also learned that even though we are around germs and exposed to germs, we don't always get sick because of the defenses that our body has. I wanted to talk to you today about how scientists group the illnesses into two different groups. One group of illnesses are called communicable diseases. The word is here on your screen, or sometimes communicable illnesses. Communicable illnesses are caused by a germ, such as bacteria, virus, protozoa, or fungi. And those illnesses can spread from person to person. An example of communicable illnesses would be strep throat. This winter, I think more than one of you had either influenza A or influenza B. Those are communicable because they can spread from person to person, and COVID-19 is communicable. The other group of illnesses or diseases is called non-communicable. Non-communicable illnesses are not caused by a germ, not caused by bacteria or virus. Non-communicable are caused by something else that's happening in the body, and they don't spread from person to person. So for example, asthma is not communicable. That means that if I have asthma and I sneeze, the person around me is not going to be at risk of getting asthma. Okay, so you watched, we know communicable illnesses spread from person to person, and I am sure that during the last 2 months, you have heard a lot about hand washing. That's why I had you watch the video. I don't know if ever you ask, like an adult tells you to do something, and then you say, why? And then they say, because I said so. Sometimes that's just it. Sometimes you're doing things because the adult told you to. But this time with hand washing, you're doing it because it's going to keep you healthy. You're doing it because there are germs that spread from person to person, and those germs can make us sick, and we don't want to get sick. So, hand washing, there's science behind it. It's not just because the adult said, because I said so. Last week you read an article, and I'm going to read it. It's on the screen. It says, this is part of it. This is an excerpt from it. It says, Paul McHenry, MD, works with people who have diseases or infections caused by harmful germs. Dr. McHenry says the most important thing you can do to avoid infections is to wash your hands. This may sound too easy, but if you think about it, it makes sense. Washing your hands often will wash away many of the harmful germs that you pick up from touching other people or objects. Then you will not be able to transfer the germs to your eyes, nose, mouth, or to the other people. In the article, it also let us know of times that we should. It says, when should you wash your hands? Here are the most important times. Before and after preparing food. Before you eat. After you use the bathroom. After handling animals or animal waste. When your hands are dirty. So maybe you've been playing outside and you found this bug and you've been playing in the dirt. It's important that you would wash your hands. Every time that you come, if you're outside and you come in, you should be washing your hands. Here's another time. I'm going to say it. I know humans pick their nose. I know it happens. But if ever you have boogers on your fingers, you have got to wash your hands. Our body's defense, part of it, the reason we have boogers and snot is to catch the germs. So boogers and snot are full of germs. So if you have picked your nose, even if you've used a tissue, you're going to see tomorrow why even if you've used a tissue to take care of boogers or snot, you still have to wash your hands. Now, in the video, you learned that there's a right way to wash your hands and a wrong way. And just like I said before, it's not because I said so, it's because there's science. In this first dish, in this first Petri dish, the person in the lab did not wash her hands. So that meant that there was bacteria on her hands, and when she touched this circle, the bacteria went from her hands to the circle, and look at the bacteria that started to grow. Then she washed her hands where she just kind of put some soap and ran it under water and didn't really do the 20 seconds that we hear so much about. Bacteria still grew. See right here on the screen, this is bacteria. Then she washed her hands where she put soap and she rubbed and scrubbed for at least 20 seconds, rinsed, used the paper towel to turn the faucet off, and then touched. And look, there's minimal bacteria. That means that when she properly washed her hands, she was able to wash away the bacteria. Now, I don't know if you remember, but she mentioned because COVID-19 is caused by a virus, the coronavirus. And I right now I've been talking about bacteria, and the reason that in the video they don't talk about a virus is because the virus has to have a human cell. We can have the virus on our hands, and like for example, if viruses, influenza, corona, if they are on a surface and we touch that surface, then we can have that virus on our hands. However, just like proper hand washing washes away bacteria, it also washes away the virus. So that's why these days, maybe you have some adults who you might feel like every 10 minutes are like, wash your hands, please, wash your hands, please. It's not just because they're trying to be mean or they think it's fun for you to play in the water. It's because there's science behind it. Washing your hands during this time and for the rest of your life is going to be important. I know for myself, I have made changes to the way that I wash my hands, and I know next year, my next group of 5th graders that I'm going to have, we are going to wash our hands more often. When I bring them back in from recess, everybody's going to wash their hands, even if they didn't use the restroom. On our way to lunch, everybody's going to wash their hands, even if they didn't use the restroom, okay? So I care about you, your family cares about you, and washing your hands as demonstrated in the video for at least 20 seconds is what's helping you to stay healthy. Now, you've got 2 more things in this folder to work on. Next is you're going to hear some hand washing songs. Some people recommend singing while washing their hands. I just count to 20. Like once I get the soap on my hands, I just, when I'm washing and I try to get my fingertips, and I just count to 20. And once I've counted to 20, then I put it in the water and I wash. Some people like to sing, like in the video they mentioned the happy birthday song. And I've heard other songs that people sing to help them make sure that they're washing for 20 seconds. So the next video are some songs about hand washing, and then there is a discussion where I've asked a question and I'd like for you to post an answer. All right, 5th graders, we are down to the end of this year, and I want you to stay strong and give your best effort and keep learning even in this last week. I can't wait to see what you do.